fixing this garden bed on a whim. G'day YouTube, it's Jeff McPhee's Gardening, Melbourne, Australia. Customers ask me, Jeff, please, can you fix up the front garden? The missus have been on to me. I've got to make her happy. They're both very busy people. They have a restaurant and they're very rarely home, but when they come home, they love to come home to a lovely garden. And the majority of the garden's not too bad, but this particular area had a lot of diosmins in, and they had electronic gates installed and half of it got ripped out. So I cleared the whole garden bed out, and what we'll do now is we want to refurb the garden. And I said, Joe, what do you want? What do you want to put in there? He said, I want a maple and I want a couple of daisies and just splash around. I'm going, what? What's this stuff? He goes, just wave your magic, you know. So I said, all right, leave it with me. So I knew what his wife wanted. I know what she wants in colour, and I know that roughly the type of plants, because you can tell by what they're planting around the house, or when they go to a nursery, you'll see what plants that they buy. So I had a good idea, and I gave him an indicative price, and he's not even worried about it. See, this is so important. I'm going to stop right here. Having a good customer that values your worth is so important, because price is not an issue anymore. Because they value your worth, they know they're getting value for their money, they know they're getting a great service, and you've got a great customer. It's a two-way street. It's a fantastic arrangement. So when you're targeting customers, make sure on one of those little boxes that you tick that you're going to keep them is the ones that value your worth. Just saying. So anyway, I'm off to the nursery. What I'll do first, I'll go and dig all the holes, what we're going to plant out, so I know how many plants to get. I'll go to the nursery, we'll come back, put a bit of compost mix, we'll lay out the garden bed with the plants, then we'll put a reticulation system sprayers in, and then we'll put some edging in and we'll mulch. So hang around on the video and watch the progress. It's a 2-day job for me. I could have done it in the day, but I'd rather take your time and just leisurely go along, and we'll knock this over in 2 days. And I know my customer will be very happy with it. And look, he's a good little earner too, I must admit. But more importantly, he knows he's getting value for money. Remember, the customer that values your service. That's important. All right, let's go and get some work done. Okay, so as you see in the picture here, I've dug all the holes to the amount of plants that I reckon we'll need. And I've worked out what I should get. And I've briefly spoken to the client on the phone and just mentioned to him, look, this is what I'm getting. And he was rapt. Look, whatever you say. I always say when you're doing little jobs like this, always communicate with the client, because they might have a different sort of vision in their head what it's going to look like to what it really happens. So if you can sort of prepare them before they see it, it really helps a bit. So I've given him an overall picture, and I've sent him a couple of pics of the type of plants, and they're over the moon. Well, especially the wives, that's the main one, because they're both working, very hard working people. So dug all the holes, as you can see, and I've also, the brick wall that we got here, we're going to put in some ivy and climb that over the hide the brickwork. So we use that fine little creeping ivy that will spread over the brickwork. Also investigated the sprinkler system. I'm so wrapped. There was a previous sprinkler system, and I thought, I've got a lot of digging and manoeuvring, but the existing line is fine. I hooked up the old connection and water's flowing out. So all I'll do is I'll renew all the lines within the garden bed. The one that's serving the garden bed, the main line, that's fine, so we'll go with that. So things are going all right at the moment. So we're going to the nursery, pick up the plants. I ordered the maples, but I'm going to pick my own, because sometimes they send the apprentice out, and I always get the crap ones for the apprentice. Nothing against apprentices, just they don't care, they've got a job to do. Because I've got a fence, I want something that's sort of going to fit the particular area, so I really need to have a look at it. So we'll see it in the nursery, and then we'll go from there. So all our plants we get from the wholesale nursery, because there's several reasons. One is the markup for your profit is so much easier because you're buying them at wholesale prices. it can be between 30 to 50% different to when you're buying from retail, so that's a good markup for you. Plus your handling cost, working what type of plants you want to get, loading it up, going to the nursery and delivering them, so there's a nice little profit margin there. The other major thing too is the quality of plants that are supplied by renowned wholesale nurseries. They all get together and sell them at these places, so the quality is really fantastic. Never had any trouble of all the years I've been going to this place. So always consider a good quality nursery when you're sourcing plants. So we've got the plants all ready to plant out. All I've got to do is get some compost mix them through the holes. So what our plan of attack is going to be is we've got our lily pillies, which is going to screen out that area there. And that's my guard dogs, by the way. It's all right, fellas. Hey, they look after me. Good boys. Yeah. So yeah, we're going to put the maple. That's going to butt against the wall, and we're going to use the fine ivy, and we're going to plant that. We're going to put some wires up so that covers that, so you'll have a nice green wall with the ivy, with the backdrop of the maple. Got the red bark there, and just a bit of colour through the garden, because the lady really wants the colour. So plan attack is compost mix, plant out. Then we're going to install the drip system. Now we've got the existing system that's still functional, so I don't have to go underneath concrete. It's already been pre-laid when the house was built many years ago, but the pipe's quite okay. I'll put a new system right through it, some sprays. Once that's done, we'll then put a mulch down, and also we'll put an edging down too, because I think the edging is important to stop stuff flowing over. So once all that's finished, I'll let you know. Okay, day one. We've planted all the plants out, so it's relaxing, isn't it, when you just stand back and just water everything in. So I've got to apply a wetter soil. I've got to put in a couple of lines to run a retic system, of course, and I've got to backfill it with mulch. I'll put some compost mix in. I'll put in some blood and bone, a bit of cow manure as well. So I'll get a bit of a liquid feed tomorrow, and job will be done. Just hung some wires up along the fence there for the little ivy to grow up along there, so that'll look nice when that's finished. The customer wanted all this colour. They didn't want just plain colours. I know landscapers, you've got to have 2 or 3 and it's going to be the same colour. This customer wanted colour, and this is what the customer wants, is what the customer gets. All right, we'll see you tomorrow. I'll finish up here, go to the hardware store, get me bits and pieces for me kit. Got to hook up a system over here. So this is where they originally come from. I'm going to put a timer system. So I've got to take all this apart, put a battery 4 outlet timer system on. So that's our line to the. It should have been 19mm, but they've only got 13, so that'll be fine. That'll work for the sprayer. And then later on we'll do the garden, we'll do the lawn areas, and got to top dress that, put a watering system in, and top seed it. See how we go. All right, well that's me for the day. I'm off home, and we'll see you in the morning. So day 2 is reticulation day. So we've laid out our poly pipe. Good tip is unwind it and just let it sit in the sun, so it's so much easier to use. It's like a Meccano set, very easy to do. You don't have to know a lot about it. Just join them up together. Make sure you put clamps on them. Makes it really safe then. And it's just a matter of, I'm just going to wind my way through garden beds. So I use a spaghetti line, 4mm line, that's plugged into the main line, hooked up to a sprayer, and that sprayer is manoeuvrable. So I can manoeuvre that sprayer around as the plants grow or the garden changes, rather than put a riser directly off the line. So just a 4mm, and just punch it into the pipe, and we'll just place all them throughout the garden. I'll show you when I'm finished. Make sure you put clamps on the joints. Make sure they're all hooked in quite well, and it stops it blowing out. Okay, test time, and all systems go, Houston, so we're all right. Sprinklers are working very well. Not rocket science, it's like a Meccano set. Put it all together, just think, and got the spacing fairly right. That's giving it a good soaking. I've given everything a sea salt and a water, what do they call it? Wetter soil. That's what I'm trying to get out. A wetter soil, so the water will just flow straight through into the ground rather than running off. So yeah, quite happy with that. Now that's hooked into an existing system, which goes underneath this driveway. That's saved me a lot of work. Otherwise, I would have found another tap. Hooked up to an automated system, just a battery system, so we don't need an electrician. We just hooked all that up, and then we just time that every day after other for 15 minutes, and that'll just come on automatically, so don't have to worry about the client coming out and not watering or whatever. So all will be good there. I got 4 points because I've got to get the lawn area all up to scratch. That's got to be sprinkled, and all the other garden beds have got to be hooked up. So that's another job for another day. So just a couple of tips for sprinkler systems: flush out the line, make sure you clamp all your joins with clamps, and also just use the spaghetti type fittings. See, I can manoeuvre that around, so I'm not using the ones that come straight out of the risers that come out of the ground, so I can move that as the plants grow or whatever. So I've probably got too many in there, but it's better than having too many and not enough, so everything's all right. So I'm off to the yard now, and we'll get that done and mulch that, and we'll talk later. Now here we're doing the edging, and what I'm using is 100mm high PVC edging material. It's flexible, yet it's quite strong, and it's just a matter of edging that along the edge of the concrete. Stops the mulch from going from the garden bed onto the driveway, and just pin that down with stakes, and it looks quite presentable. So that's one way to do edging. You can look at using bricks and sleepers, but because it's such a bendy, got curves in it, this material takes, and it's so easy to use, and it's relatively cheap. I think a piece like that is probably only about $60, I think, plus the. With the mulching, I use buckets and a trolley because I've got limited access, and more the reason using the buckets, I can actually manoeuvre around the plants. So if you've got a wheelbarrow and you dump it, half the time you're dumping it on the plant itself. So I tend to use buckets a lot, so much easier to use. 3 buckets, it holds probably a wheelbarrow anyway. Just use a little trolley and I can fit down narrow areas and manoeuvre myself in tight spots in the garden. It's the mulch is just a 10mm pine bark, and more decorative than anything else, and obviously keeps the soil cool. It's something that takes a long time to break down, holds its colour for some time, and probably only needs a light dress up once a year. I've used half a metre on this, so I didn't have to take the trails, just put it on the back of the ute into the yard, and away we go. So mulch, and sowing's the little job I had to do. I tried to present the last bit in the ute, but I was so tired I forgot to turn the camera on when I was talking. Didn't work out. I've come home, had a shower, nice cold frothy, and I'm absolutely stuffed, but I'm a good stuffed. And I sent the invoice off to the client at 4 o'clock before I left, and I got home at 4:35, and notification came through on the phone that he paid. He hadn't even seen the job. I sent him some pictures, I sent him a little video. He was absolutely wrapped. So how good is that customer? He's paid even just before I got home, so really pleased with that. All right, viewers, just another little thing a string to my bow. I think it's we can all do. It's not a hard job to do. We can all do something like that. Um, you know, this job wasn't much planning because had to be done, and it was just, you know, sort of flying by the seat of our pants when we were doing it. But if you sat down, worked out stage by stage, as you would do when you're quoting, work out a plan of attack. You know, I could have probably taken some other avenues, but the job got done. Looks all right. Yes, I could have probably put this retic system before I planned it out, but then again, I've got to know where the plants are to get the water. Look, it's all different ways to do it. This particular job was pretty easy. So thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next video, and please share. And what do you think about it? Did you like the presentation at the end? Anyway, we'll see you in the next video. Bye.